Hey y'all, it's Shamika Dean, the Queen of Restoration, your real, raw, and relatable relationship and purpose coach on a Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. So y'all know I love y'all because I'm talking to y'all on a Friday night. Let me know if you can hear me when you tune in. Hey, Melanie, Felicia, Dolores, Toynette. Welcome if you are a first-time viewer, and welcome back to all of my faithful supporters. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Okay, you can hear me. Hey, Gabrielle. Hey, Devan. Allison. I'm trying to come to y'all tonight and help y'all. Hey, Brianna. Hey, Coco. Ashley, Rochelle, Joanna, Joyce, Shamar. Hey. All right, good. I think it's Shamika. But yeah, I'm coming tonight so I can help y'all get off this emotional roller coaster. The emotional roller coaster of relationships, these toxic relationships. You're out of one and you get right back into another one. So I want to talk to y'all about that tonight because you're on an emotional roller coaster. Loving him ain't nothing healthy. Loving him was never good for you. That's the song I used to sing all the time, y'all. When I kept going back to that toxic relationship, I'm talking about couldn't stay away. Just going in a roller coaster, on a roller coaster ride. Dizzy, spinning, crying, screaming, all that stuff, you know? And so when I got out of that relationship, yeah, hallelujah. You stupid. Thank you, Shamar, because you know what? People be hating on me. I told him I'm a great backup singer, okay? Now, I'm not trying to sing the lead. That's not my place. I know how to stay in my lane. But I can sing backup, and I can sing in the shower, too. Yep, I sure can. Thank you. But you know how it is, these emotional roller coaster relationships, you get out of one and get in another one, just can't seem to break loose from it. You might be like me. I love the bad boy. Okay. I love the bad boy. Drug dealers were that was my thing, pre-Jesus days, pre-Jesus. Okay. But just consistently attracting the same type of relationships and, can't figure out why it is that I am, continuously finding myself when I get out of this one, I get in another relationship and it looks kind of, so similar to the one that I just left. And so those toxic relationships, happen to many of us. I know that I'm not the only one. So if you've been in a toxic relationship before, I need you to just type me in the comments. We're going to be real tonight. Okay. We're going to be real. So if you've been in a toxic relationship, just type me. Y'all can't really see the comments like that. Okay. Thank you, Brianna. Wow, for real? Wow. Okay, she says she just got through reading scriptures on toxic relationships and people. So you can share some of those scriptures with us too in the comments if you like. Because I love interaction and engagement. Okay, so before we talk about how to stop attracting toxic relationships, I think it's a must that we identify what a toxic relationship is. Because some of us are in toxic relationships and don't even realize that the relationship is toxic. So I believe that in order for us to stop something, we first got to understand what it is we're stopping. And we got to know that that's what it really is. Because you know how we do. We are notorious for calling something everything except for what it is. So when you talk about a toxic relationship, it's like, you know, that Whitney and Bobby type of relationship, that Ike and Tina type of relationship, that Yvette and Jody type of relationship, or that Angela and Ghost type of relationship. You know, it's that relationship is just like a bad drug. It's not good for you, but it seems like you just cannot kick that addiction. It feels good to you, but it's horrible for you, causing all kind of damage, all kind of side effects, even may cause a little bit of withdrawal symptoms. You know, so again, it's like a drug. When you high off that drug, you don't ever want to come down. But baby, listen, when you do come down, it takes you to a low that you feel like you can hardly come back from. It's really that type of relationship that your mama warned you about. You know, the men that she warned you about, the ones that she told you was going to break your heart, but you was so in love, you just decided you was going to go for it anyway. So, but a toxic relationship is any kind of relationship that diminishes your value, your confidence, or your self-esteem. Any relationship that is only take, which means you're the only one that's pouring into a relationship. You're the only one that's giving your all to the relationship. A toxic relationship is also where loyalty does not exist. All right. Any relationship where trust has vanished and is incapable of being repaired is a toxic relationship. And last but not least, and of course, this is not all inclusive, but these are just some signs of to help you identify if what you are in is a toxic relationship. Any relationship where you are forced to be someone else to be accepted. One of the things that I have helped many women to realize is we especially when you get married, for some reason women think that they have to lose their identity and basically become a replica of their spouse. And when I say a replica, I'm meaning they change their complete identity because they think that's what it's going to take to please the man that they're married to or that they're in a relationship with. So for instance, you just become like a chameleon. If he likes cars, you start liking cars. If he likes fishing, you start liking fish, you know, liking to fish. If he likes dogs, you know, you start liking dogs. Just everything about yourself changes depending on the person that you're in a relationship with. So that's a toxic relationship because whenever you get in a relationship, God is not requiring for you to change your authenticity. All right. He's not requiring for you to change your authenticity to be loved. And if you find yourself trying to do that, then that is a sign that that relationship is toxic for you. Now, the person may not be toxic, but the relationship is toxic because it's trying to disrupt God's original plan for your life. So again, if the relationship diminishes you, your value, your confidence, or your self-esteem, any relationship that is only take, where you're the only one that's giving your all into the relationship, where loyalty doesn't exist, any relationship where the trust has vanished and is incapable of being repaired, and any relationship where you're forced to be anyone other than yourself to be accepted. All right. So did y'all get that? Talk back to me. Let me know if y'all got that, because these comments are different on. Okay. The comments are a little bit different because I'm actually doing this live from my, somebody said power. Yeah, that's the, you know, that Angela and Ghost type of relationship. But, you know, like I said, toxic relationships are those relationships that instead of bringing out the best in you, they bring out the worst in you. So that in a nutshell is a toxic relationship. Bringing out the worst in you instead of the best in you. And it's hard to break free from those relationships when you have become one and tied your soul to that relationship. So that's why it's so difficult for you to break free from it. So I'm just going to give y'all a couple of tips, and I don't plan on being on here long because I do have family coming in town, so they'll be here probably in the next 10 minutes. All right. So y'all interact with me. If you have questions, start typing your questions in the comment section. I'll try to answer those as well tonight. But in order for you to stop attracting toxic relationships, first of all, you got to identify for what it is. If that thing is toxic, if it's not good for you, even if it feels good to you, because most of the times the things that aren't good for us feel the best. Let's be real. It feels the best. It's the things that are not good for us that causes, some discomfort sometimes. But most of the times, like good food, most good food is really bad for us. But we crave it. We crave it. It's like we just have to have it. But in order for you to stop attracting toxic relationships, you got to identify what a toxic relationship is and call it just that. Stop saying it's complicated. Facebook then gave toxic relationships an identity. It's complicated. No, it's toxic. It's toxic. All right. It's draining you. It's causing pure misery. You can't be yourself in that relationship. You are not really tapping into your full potential in that relationship. You're denying yourself to satisfy somebody else in that relationship. All right. So the relationship is toxic. No matter how good that chemistry is. Y'all know Whitney and Bobby, they had major chemistry. Like their chemistry was undeniable. You could tell that they really loved each other, but they were bad for each other. They were just bad for each other. No matter how much they loved each other, they were bad for each other. And that's the same way it is with, just like with that Ike and Tina. They made beautiful music, hit records, changing the world, touching lives all over the world. But at the end of the day, they were horrible for each other. Horrible for each other. All right. Any relationship where you have to hide yourself to be in a relationship. So I'm talking about my ladies that are allowing themselves to be optional. I'm talking to my ladies that are allowing themselves to be side chicks. And I'm talking about my ladies who are allowing themselves to share their private with a man who never wants to be seen with them in public. That's a toxic relationship. It's a toxic relationship. All right. So you got to be real with that thing. I don't care how much sweet nothings he whispers in your ear. If a man really loves you, one thing he's not going to do is keep you a secret. There's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy means that I'm protecting this that I have because it has value. It means something to me, and I don't want to risk losing it, so I don't allow everybody to have access to it. Secrecy means I don't want anybody to know about it, period. But a man never hides anything he's proud of. If he gets a new vehicle, he's not keeping it in the garage hidden. All right? So if he's proud of you and you're who he wants, he's going to let the world know. Because that's what men do when they're proud of something. So if he's hiding you and keeping you private, you ain't got no business giving him none of your privates. Come on, somebody. If he's hiding you and keeping you private, you have no business giving him any of your privates, especially if he's not your husband. But we're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it real. Y'all talk back to me. Let me know. Keep tapping the screen, giving hearts, and keep putting your comments on here as well. Okay. Another thing, the way you stop attracting toxic relationships is you have to identify why you are attracting those toxic relationships. What's in you that's so broken that you keep attracting brokenness into your life? What wound is still open that has not yet been healed, that the enemy is able to sniff out and send someone to you to pacify that wound? And see, we got to understand this. The enemy he's not dressed in red with horns on his head. He comes as everything you think you want. He comes as the healing to that rejection. He comes as the healing to that childhood tragedy. He comes as the healing to that low self-esteem. He comes as everything you think you need. He comes as the answer to fill the void that's in your life. He comes as everything you think you need. So he doesn't come and makes himself obvious to you. He's as wise. That's why the Bible says be as wise as a serpent, because the enemy is wise. So he studies you. He studies your patterns. He studies your brokenness. He studies and listens to what consistently comes out of your mouth. So that when he sends somebody to you, he makes sure that they sound like or they appear to be everything you think you want in a man, or everything you think you've been praying for. And one thing y'all got to realize is that the counterfeit always comes before the real thing. The counterfeit always comes before the real thing. Okay? So you got to be aware of that. And that's why it's important for you to heal from the issues of your past, so that you will know that, for one, you're not settling for this relationship because you feel like you can't get anyone else, or because you're tired of being alone. All right? And it's also important for you to heal from the things of your past, so that you will know that you are attracting wholeness into your life and not brokenness. So that's why it's important for you to go through that process of healing. That's why it's so powerful. You know what I mean? It's so important that you go through that process of healing. All right? Because he comes as everything you think you want. What did Van say? He comes as 6'3", chocolate and fine. Or hey, he might come as 5'6" and light skinned, for those who like the short light skinned brothers. I don't know. You know, not my thing, but hey, it is what it is. So again, so you have got to know what it is that keeps attracting that. And don't be unwise in thinking that, you know, that you don't have anything to do with what's being attracted to your life. Because y'all know I say this all the time. You attract who you are, not who you pretend to be. All right? Another way to stop attracting toxic relationships is you've got to sever those soul ties from past relationships. You can move forward in life and not really move on. Do you see how, let's talk about, for instance, Ghost and Angela. That door was never closed to Angela. He never healed from that. He never closed that space. So when she presented herself again, the door was already open for her to walk in and take that place. It was already open for her to walk in and take that place. Now, this is the thing about Ghost. You know, with him, and we do this too. You know, this happens too in relationships. Sometimes we think that the one that we are with, because we're having issues in that relationship, we feel like we are getting something better. You know, if we leave that relationship, we feel like we're getting something better, right? Not knowing that because we didn't heal from what caused us to attract that broken relationship in the beginning, we're really just setting ourselves up to attack somebody who's assigned to seduce and destroy us. Y'all better catch that. I need somebody to be typing in the comments, because this is some good stuff. Yes, they had a history. And so because that history, instead of him allowing that history to be a lesson, he allowed history to repeat itself. Instead of him allowing that history to be a lesson, because she had left him before. So instead of him allowing that history to be a lesson, he opened the door and allowed history to repeat itself. He thought he was leaving Tasha, which I would just give a biblical reference. He thought Tasha was his Queen Vashti. He thought he was leaving her for Angela, which he thought was a Queen Esther. And Angela turned out to be a Delilah. I'm trying to make this thing plain for y'all. I know I got some power watchers on here. I know I do. I watched the show, and you know why I watched it? Because I needed to know how to reach my audience. If my audience is talking about power, I need to know what's going on in power so I can reach them at a level in a way that they will understand. All right? So another thing, like I said, to stop attracting these toxic relationships, you got to cut that soul tie. You have to close the door. Completely close that door. Stop allowing the enemy to have a foothold. You leave the door cracked just a little bit, just in case they come back. And one of the things that keeps you stuck in that place and leaving that crack open is the what if syndrome. What if? What if? How about not focusing on what if and start calling it what it is? That relationship was toxic. It meant me no good then. It's not going to mean me any good now. Why? Because even if I have healed, it doesn't mean that they have. Even if I have been delivered, it doesn't mean that they have. So guess what? Guess what? The relationship is still toxic. And it's extremely toxic if I haven't healed yet. Because those wounds are still there. They have not healed. So it's going to cause infection. It's going to cause deeper damage. And then it will take a longer process for it to heal. Yeah. So y'all have got to, completely close that door. Stop hanging around the people that y'all used to hang around together when y'all were friends. Stop listening to y'all's song. Oh, that's our song. No Netflix and chill. No friends. Why? We don't need to be friends right now because I'm too fresh. I haven't healed from this. And there's a wound, a door that's still open that will give you access to pull me back to the place that God is trying to bring me out of. So no, we can't be friends right now. I'm not trying to be friends with something I'm trying to get delivered from. That's just like saying, I'm going to keep this line of cocaine right here. I'm going to keep it right here. Eventually you're going to fall backwards. You're going to go right back into that pattern, into that habit. That's what a toxic relationship is like. It's like a bad drug, a bad habit. And you cannot continue to be in the presence of something that you're trying to get free from because you're not strong enough to deal with that. So you got to break that soul tie. Those gifts, especially if your love language is receiving gifts, those gifts that they've given you that have keeping you emotionally connected to that person, you need to get rid of them. Anything that keeps you emotionally attached to that person, you need to get rid of it. If you have to change your phone number, and this may seem drastic to some, but listen, drastic times calls for drastic measures. You got to do what you got to do if you really want to stay free and stop attracting these toxic relationships. All right. And then I'm going to give y'all one more point. Y'all can keep talking, commenting. I'll go back and see if I have any questions too. I haven't done questions yet because I like to get through with my points first before I start addressing questions. So it will keep me on track. Excuse me. And the last thing is you got to heal from that stuff. Why? Because you don't want to become the person that hurts you. Like I said earlier, you attract who you are. So if you become the person that hurt you, you see what I'm saying? Then you're going to continue to attract that brokenness in your life. You're going to continue to attract it. And you want to make sure that you heal. Because let me tell y'all something. Once you start looking at relationships and people from a healed and whole place, brokenness no longer looks the same to you. So when you see those men coming to you trying to play and run games, you're going to immediately shut it down. But also, once you're at a healed place, you will start warding off the counterfeits. They're not going to come to you with that foolishness because they already know that you are a healed and whole woman and they are not going to be able to play games with you. They know you're not going to tolerate that. You need to be healed so that you will know, you will treat yourself the way that you want other people to treat you. You teach people how to treat you, not only by what you allow them to do, but also by how you treat yourself. If you're treating yourself like a queen, if you're setting standards that you refuse to lower, if you love yourself unconditionally, flaws and all, if you accept your flaws and you love yourself, flaws and all, other people will only be able to do the same. Whatever you're giving out is what you're going to get back. That's why, again, you treat people how to treat you, not only by what you allow, but also by how you treat yourself. All right. So that's it, y'all. The first thing we talked about was to identify what the toxic relationship is. Identify what it is. All right. You got to identify that this is exactly this, and this thing is toxic. It's bad for me. I'm bad for them. Even if they're not bad for me, I'm bad for them, which still makes it a toxic relationship. Then you got to close those doors completely. Cut that stuff off, the soul ties. Make sure you destroy those soul ties, closing the doors to your past, and then making sure that you heal so that you won't become the person that hurt you, so that you won't continue to attract that brokenness. And so that when you start looking at these relationships now, you see them completely differently because you're coming from a position of wholeness and not a position of brokenness. And you want to heal also so that, again, you know that you are not settling. You're not settling, and that you can ward off the counterfeits. All right. So y'all type some comments. Let me know y'all heard what I said. Let me know if it was good to you, good feedback, and all that good stuff. That's good, Ashley. Ashley said her and her ex have a mutual friend and they would always invite us to events together. I would always say no because I wasn't totally healed and they didn't understand. Ashley, that's wisdom, and I commend you for that, because most people don't understand how, if they get themselves back in that situation, if they open themselves up like that, it's a danger zone. It's a danger zone. If you know you haven't healed, you know that you still have feelings for that person, then it is wisdom for you not to subject yourself to that, because you will go backwards. You'll start accepting those phone calls, those text messages, those I miss you, those what you doing, and then it's a lonely night. It's cold. It's December and you like, man, I don't want to go out. I really want somebody to kind of cuddle with me, tonight. And man, he do look good. God, he's still fun. You understand what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, you rumbling in the sheets with him before you know it. And then you waking up, you got, you can pull the cover because guilt and shame. And you're like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I get myself into? And then you like, what does this mean? Where do we stand now? What does this mean about our relationship? The same thing it meant prior. You allow him to come in there and rumble in those sheets without a commitment. And so he's going to continue to do it. It's just the reality of it. Y'all better tell him some of that Juanita Bynum, no more sheets. No more sheets. Not my sheets or your sheets. Not new sheets from Walmart or Target. No more sheets, brother. It's not going to happen. Okay, Tammy said, I totally agree with the friends cut them off. They all thought I was acting funny. Listen, and even music, a lot of times we don't understand that music, we got to understand the power of music. Music can change your very emotion. Music has kids thinking that it's okay to sell drugs and commit murder. Music is very powerful. And that's why I said, even the songs that you listen to, if you're trying to heal from a heartache, I know you want to connect with something emotionally because that's what you're going through at the time. But listen, you got to be wise and connect with something that's going to give you the strength and the courage to heal and to stay out of that relationship. Listen to some real truth, but cutting off those songs that remind you of the times that y'all had together. If y'all used to listen to R. Kelly, and R. Kelly, you sure enough don't need to be listening to Kelly because you'll be around here somewhere pregnant and you really gonna be mad. Okay, so you don't need to be listening to Kelly. You don't need to be listening to Jasmine Sullivan talking about I bust the windows out your car, because you're gonna go to jail. Okay, and you're gonna have to pay that back. Okay, you're gonna have to pay for that. And I'm not giving you any bail money, because I'm telling you now, don't listen to Jasmine Sullivan. Don't listen to So Gone. Monica, that's my girl. Love me some Monica. Love me some Jay Sully. But I'm gonna need y'all not to listen to that when y'all trying to heal from these relationships. Okay. All right. I know y'all love me. Thank you. Keep the comments coming. Okay, Ashley says, just because you have history with someone doesn't mean they are the one for you. Allow God to write your love story. That'll preach right there. Come on, somebody. That will preach. Just because you have history with someone doesn't mean they are the one for you. We see that clear as day with the couples that I have mentioned earlier. That Whitney and Bobby, that Ike and Tina, okay, that Yvette and Jody, and that Angela and Ghost. Yeah, you kind of don't need that in your life. History means nothing when it's toxic and it causes you more misery than it does happiness. Type that in the comments. History means nothing if it causes you more misery than happiness. So y'all type that in the comments. All right. Robin says, don't allow history to repeat itself. Oh yeah, Devan said it too. Wide open. The words he used was "we have history." Yep, left him wide open for the sting. Came right there. Oh, Carla said you waking up with STDs. All right. And you know, I use the STDs, I use the acronym soul tie demons. A lot of people don't think the soul ties are real, but I promise you they are. I promise you they are. When you find yourself can't seem to break free from a relationship that you know is toxic, and let me tell y'all something, toxic relationships is not just between a man and a woman. Toxic relationships is also friendships. Toxic relationships is also relationships between siblings, between cousins, between relatives, between best friends. Those relationships can also be toxic, and they can also be soul ties. Your soul can be tied to someone that you have not yet slept with. All right. So think about the things that I said and ask yourself, is that relationship toxic? Because I promise you, when you start to evaluate, you will see that that relationship is toxic. Okay, Samantha says it was very good. I've been out of a relationship for 10 months, but I have shut down everyone who has tried to date me. I just told a man I'm not ready. I need to focus on me. He did not understand, but I broke it down to him. I want a healthy relationship. Exactly, Samantha. In order for you to be a great wife, you want to be a healed woman. All right. If you want to be a great wife, you want to be a healed woman. And to be a healed woman, sometimes you have to take that period of isolation. Just because you are single does not mean that you are available. Type that in the comments. Just because you are single does not mean you are available, because your time of being single is a time of discovery, a time of healing, a time of deliverance. Discovering who you are as a woman, as a person, understanding your purpose, healing from the past relationships, and being delivered from the things that have kept you bound and caused you to keep attracting those toxic relationships. Okay, and Ariel said, yep, been there, done that. I allowed myself to go back and forth with my ex knowing it wouldn't work. Queen Melanie Bowles had a good I can't see her question, Devan. Can she retype it? I can't see it. For some reason, it's only let me scroll up so far on the computer. I see that there are other comments up top, but it's not letting me scroll up to them. So I'm not ignoring her. It wouldn't let me scroll up any further. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about they're single and ready, but no, baby, you're single and unavailable because you haven't healed. And if you jump out there in that water right now, you're gonna drown because you haven't taken the time to heal. And if you think about anything that's put in the water that has holes in it, what does it do? It sinks straight to the bottom. Anything that has holes in it, when you put it in water, it sinks straight to the bottom. So you may be single, but it doesn't mean that you are ready. Because if you still have a hole in your heart from past relationships, even childhood tragedies, childhood issues such as rape, abandonment, rejection, if you still have those holes that have not healed, you are not ready to get into another relationship because you're going to sink to the bottom. And y'all make sure y'all share this video as well. If you haven't done so, do me a favor and share this video with your followers, because I want people to get in and watch and listen to this video, because I know that it is going to break up some things and help people to get healed so that they will stop attracting these broken relationships. I see Tree, you shared it, Deborah shared it. Thank you so much. While I'm waiting on these other questions to come through, if you're in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area, listen, Coffee and Cupcakes Conversation with Wives and Super Wives, wives and future wives, is August 26th in the Murfreesboro area. We did close registration on yesterday, but if you are serious about positioning yourself to be a wife and you want to be in an atmosphere where there's going to be some real healing, deliverance, and teaching, then I encourage you to get there. So I will leave registration up until 11 p.m. tonight. 11 p.m. tonight, and that will be the final opportunity for registration. This is a good video. I hope I can save this to my computer so I can use it for future references. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I didn't mean super wise, but hey, who knows? You know, I always come up with something when I'm talking to other people for some reason. That's when my creative juices start to flow. All right. So if we don't have any more questions, then listen, I want y'all to type in the comments, no more erosion, no more emotional roller coaster. No more emotional roller coaster. No more emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't nothing healthy. Loving you was never good for me, for me. Oh, oh. That's Vivian Green, y'all. Check her out. That's my girl. I love her. That's an old cut, but I love Vivian Green. I love good, soulful music. And No More Rain in This Cloud. That's another one. Angie Stone. My sunshine has come. Hey, and I'm all cried out, and there's no more rain in this cloud. All right. She asked it again. Okay, so Melanie says, can you break free from toxicity when you are one? Yes, you can break free. You have to identify that you are the toxic one and then go through your healing process. So you can break free. And once you break free and you become healed and whole, then of course you're no more toxic for those, and you want to track that toxicity into your life. So yes, you can break free from toxicity when you are one. Absolutely. Y'all not finna, y'all are not finna boost my head up and have me out here trying to get record deals and things. That's what you're not gonna do. All right. That's what you're not gonna do. No, thank y'all for real. Thank y'all. I love to sing, although I don't sing publicly, or I don't lead songs. Again, I know my place. Yeah, I just love music. I love the arts. I love music. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I love God, good food, and good music. Okay. Any more questions before I get off of here? I love y'all. Y'all are a good crowd. Good crowd tonight. I pray that I can save this video, sweet Jesus. I think I can save it from my computer, though. I'm almost 100% sure. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Joe J Boss Rhodes, for sharing the video. I can't see everyone who shares, so. Will conference be recorded for later? The conference, no. The conference will not be recorded for later. Okay, Tammy says there is different stages of healing because everything that I have experienced from relationships came up, which crushed me mentally, physically, emotionally, because I never healed from the ones before, which is one reason I learned that I was still hurting from the past relationships. I personally soul searched and took responsibility in the act of allowing these things to happen, which I learned that I was also toxic after discovering that there was much greater to me. I am in love with me all over again, single and happy. I love that, Tammy. Absolutely. And you know, Tammy, that is why I wrote the book, Positioning Yourself to Be a Wife, because it's really a deliverance and healing manual for the broken woman, helping them to overcome past relationships, helping them to destroy soul ties, helping them and teaching them how to forgive, helping them to uncover why they keep attracting those toxic relationships, and also helping them to uncover who they are as a woman, becoming confident in themselves, learning how to love themselves unconditionally so that they will position themselves to be the wife that they need to be to attract the husband that has been created for them. And so that's what positioning yourself to be a wife is all about. And the healing and deliverance testimonies that I get from that book are so amazing. And it's really, it does my heart good because I know that everything that I poured into that book is being poured into the heart, into the lives of other women. And it's really doing what I prayed to God that it would do. So I commend you. I'm thankful that you are single, in love with yourself, and that you are happy. Kudos to you. I'm happy for you. That's a great place to be. Okay, y'all. All right, y'all, heart me up real quick. If you haven't done so, I want you to also check out my website, shamikadean.com. I also have a free ebook. I'm going to type my website in the comments. And I have a free ebook also that's titled How to Confidently Know If He's the One. All right. If you have a Gmail account and you sign up for this ebook, you will have to go to your computer and look in the updates folder, because for some reason, Gmail sends it to that folder. So, but I'm typing that in the comments as well. So you can click that comment and you can go and download that free book. Okay. My book is on my website as well. You go to the go to my website and click on store, and you can get the book there. It'll take you straight to Amazon. Carla says, I like your money attraction video you did too. The next day I came into unexpected moolah. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. You better get it. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Okay. Well, I love y'all so much. Again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Make sure you share this video. If you're just tuning in, share. Go back and watch the beginning of the video. Again, I love y'all. I thank y'all so much for tuning in, especially on a Friday night. So that means y'all really love me. Y'all do. I love y'all too. I do. All right. So I will talk to y'all again soon. I love you so much, and have a good night. Mwah.